Shalom. All right, Lord willing, hear me. Shalom. Let's start to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Bahar, Badash. We double honor to the apostles, great wisdom, teach all the only one certified to teach you 100% truth of the Bible. Sincere shalom to the occupant, push out this word, truth and sincerity, and the true. And shalom to the aquath out there who are learning the truth and sincerity in silence. All right, my name is I'm the Pasha from the Jim Russell Mental Camp. I wanted the spirit to edify the elect out there with a quick hit. Uh, Going to the title, the connection between humility and faith, faith and humility. You know, yesterday during camp, brought out this point because the brother said, beautiful point about the connection between faith and humility, and it went on Google to use their AI to see what it had to say. Just to touch on some points, so I got a couple precepts that I'm going to go into, make some points, but we'll just be edifying to the elect. All right, faith and humility are inextricably linked. All right, and that word inextricably, get that real quick. Inextricably definition. Inextricably is an adverb that means in a way that is impossible to separate, disentangle, or escape from. All right, it typically describes things that are so closely joined or related that they cannot be considered individual. Man, it's beautiful. Again, I don't have too much time right now, but I got to get this out. All right. Faith and humility are inextricably linked. Humility is the essential precursor to faith. All right. It's beautiful. All right. You know, you can't be, to be faithful means to be humble. All right. And that humility, the way to walk in humility is not going to be, it's without oneself. In fact, let's get the definition of humility. All right. Definition of humility. Humility is the quality of having a modest, accurate view of one's own importance and an honest acknowledgement of one's limitations, imperfections, and mistakes. All right. We see what the Bible definition says. In the Bible, humility is an honest, down-to-earth recognition of your place before God and others. Rather than meaning weakness or self-deprecation, it is linked to thinking as yourself less and serving others. Ultimately, it is the deliberate choice to yield to God's will for the benefit of your neighbor. It's beautiful, all right? Okay, get it real quick. Uh, Psalms 34 and verse. You can really start at, no, I'm going to start at verse 18 for the point. All right, Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such that be of a contrite spirit. All right, let me get this word contrite. Contrite is an adjective that means feeling or showing deep sorrow or remorse for doing something wrong. Okay, that now the reason why that is such an imperative message is because, first off, in order to properly serve the Lord, it's to Hosea 5, verse 15, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. All right. So in this time, the Lord turned his face away, and he's only seeking out those who understand. Okay. That's the humility, and humility to actually understand your place between the Lord. You are looking at Yahweh, you're looking at how you have moved against Yahweh Shem Yahushai, no longer considering your own self. You're seeing perspective of what Yahweh Shem Shai is requiring when he gave us the commandments, and how to walk, and how we have shot away from those. Okay, that's why in this ministry it's so important to really be observant, whether you be in the spirit. Let me get that. I feel like I think um, it's like yeah, it's Second Corinthians 13. All right, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. All right, so that constant examination requires a honest uh, understanding. Just like we read the definition of humility, the quality of having a modest, accurate view of one's own importance. Okay, because with pride, it's a pride is the exact opposite of humility. All right, they're both very strong characteristics, of our people. Because when we move in humility, beautiful things happen, and when we move in pride, a lot of beautiful things happen when we move in humility, and a lot of terrible things happen when we move in pride. That's why Sirach 10 and 10 says, 10 and 12 says the beginning of pride is when one's heart is turned away from his maker. All right. So when the Lord is telling us to hearken back unto him, to seek him for shelter, in our afflictions, in our daily walk, that faith can only exist within humility. But our pride gets in the way of allowing us to properly assess the situation. Or our pride will hide and be pointing at other things. Our pride will sit there and no, you, or whatever the situation may be. Whether you got an issue towards if two brothers got a disagreement and they're looking at each other in any which way that they can't seem to find some sort of footing. Both of them, one of them's got some pride about them. The other one is trying to show them the right thing, and the prideful one is looking at the one that's looking at the situation in the right way and is saying, "No, you know." But only you can only understand Yahweh Shem Shai once you're letting that go. All right, because once you read down from Sirach 10 and 12, verse 13, it says, let me get it. Sirach 10 and 12. 13, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abomination. All right, so that pride in itself is a sin, okay, because it's an improper foundation. It's founded within your own self. All right, again, going back to the definition of the word humility is the quality of having a modest, accurate view of one's own importance and an honest acknowledgement of one's limitations, of our own limitations, an honest acknowledgement of our own limitations. You know, Jake is so self-willed that they think that they can acquire a victory without Yahweh Shemi Shai. But there's no war, no battle, no victory has ever been had without Yahweh Shemi Shai being there. Okay? Even Esau, who believes that he is I forgot which one of the brothers said it, but they were going into how this devil. It was Nahoya, the leader of the Jamesh Orlando camp. He was going into how Esau literally thinks that hey, Esau literally thinks that there is no God, and that because of that, it was just free game. So left up to him, oh yeah, he's the one that accomplished this. But no, the Lord put him there so that we could be in subjection, so that we could acknowledge our offenses, to have something in us that recognizes, nah, this ain't right. This ain't right. This is not right, you know? But but it took a massive humbling. It took a whole lot that was trying to stand on something to understand that the very foundation that we were standing on was the thing that was going to lead to our death. Like the scriptures say, pride cometh before the fall, roughly paraphrasing. That that standing in that belief that you and you alone are capable of guiding your sister. Let me grab uh, Proverbs 3:9, 3:5. It's lucky. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes, and fear Yahweh, and depart from evil. All right? But that's the thing. There's a whole lot of wicked spirits going around. I forget what brother, man, this was like a month or two ago. Men should not have them there. I don't care if it's dreads. That wicked ass shit. But um, yeah, one of the brothers pointed out that there was the Dallas brothers were going live, and in the background you can see spirits flying around. You know, and the Passover just recently happened, and I'm still new to this, but other brothers be making the point that around Passover is when shit be getting crazy. You know, and for just the brothers that I'd be speaking to, man, everybody's going through damn near the exact same situation. Damn near the exact same situation. But yet, there's so much pride going on in that situation that the individuals of those situations truly believe that this situation is unique. That no, this got to be moving like this. And truthfully, the Lord is sifting. The Lord is sifting around the Passover. He sifts every single time, and it's a terrifying thing. But He's looking for those who are humble and meek and lowly, because those are the ones that are moldable. All right, those are the ones that don't fight against the scriptures say, "Woe to them that strive against their Maker." Let me grab it. All right, Isaiah 45:9. Woe to them that striveth with his Maker. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou? Or thy work, he hath no hands? Like, who are you to question Yahweh Shem Shai and say, no, you don't know what he's doing. I'm going to move like that. Because truthfully, when you move in pride rather than humility, that's how you're operating. Your operations, you may not say it with your words, but you say it with your actions. That's why there's saying is actions speak louder than words. You can say one thing in one breath, but it not be the that's and that goes into integrity. Okay, integrity. Man, I had the definition over here. Integrity definition: the quality of being honest and having strong, unwavering moral and ethical principles. All right. It means consistently aligning your actions with your values. Aligning your actions with your values. That's the point. All right. Because Jake loved to say that they about this and just be doing other shit, man. You know, claiming to really be understanding, claiming to, no, I got this, I understand, I'm with this, I'm about this, and where they at? The Lord sifted them because, truthfully, they weren't considering it. How about Shemiah Shai? All right, I might make this a part two, but let me grab this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon, uh, verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. Just like King David, man, a man after the Lord's heart, man. sincerely seeking what the Lord is trying to do. Yo, just yesterday, I'm after camp. I'm over here like I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go and treat myself, right? And I wanted to grab this very specific bottle, you know, that the first time I had it, I loved it. I knew that was gonna be the bottle that I wanted to get after I crossed over. I had it as a little goal, you know, just a little celebration. It's not of my own will. I understand. It's Yahweh Shemel Shai. It was his. Now it's time for you to come in. Okay, but a little bit of appreciation with that. First place I went to, they had a version of it, but it wasn't the version I wanted. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. There's a place nearby. I was like, you know what? Right before I went in, I said, Lord, if they don't have it here, I'm just gonna stop looking. I'm gonna go on your time. You know, I'm just gonna wait until when I'm with the brothers and then get it. If they have it there, I'll get it that. If not, I'll just get the other one. It'll be fine. You know, just leaving it to the Lord's hands. It wasn't there. I let that shit go. And I said, okay. And it hurt. In the moment, it hurt. It hurt. It really hurt because like, damn, you really want it. Your flesh be telling you, man, come on, just go ahead and get a different bottle. All that shit was going on in my head. I'm like, no, let me just listen. I got in the car. I'm like, I need to get gas. Went ahead and got gas. I go pay the pump thing, and I go to use the restroom. I come back, and it's sitting at $44.10. So it's saying 144 in the way that we read in the Hebrew from right to left, which is the proper way. So I'm like, hey, call I am Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's little moments like that of properly leaving it to the Lord, you know, not going, letting the Lord direct all your ways, you know. Having that type of mentality is where Yahweh Shemel Shai is trying to meet you in the first place. That's the only way he can deal with you. Where, let me get it. Verse 2, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. Because what you're doing is you're giving the Lord complete control over the you're giving the Lord complete control of the situation. Damn, I gotta wrap this up in a little bit, but you're giving complete control to Yahweh Shemel Shai to have dominion and guidance over you, because truthfully, you can't guide your own steps. All right. Proverbs 16:1. It says the heart and the answer of the tongue is in the hand of the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. All right. And let me get it real quick because I know I butchered that. All right. Be real quick. Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. All right. That's the point. So the Yahweh Shemel Shai's guidance is the very thing that is uh, all throughout our ways. All right. And it's what's in us that the Lord is dealing with. Okay. It's the inward way that portrays life. I be saying it all the time. The spirit realm is the engine of the physical realm. All right. You are a spirit guiding flesh. The flesh is made to go against the spirit. But truthfully, it's what's in your spirit. What does your heart actually look towards? Again, that's where Matthew 6 is talking about where your heart is, there your treasure shall be also. All right. And that's why Isaiah 33:6, in the latter half of it, it says, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's the wisdom and knowledge. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from Yahweh Shemel Shai is in the fact that that man has a fear of the Lord. That's what he cares about. So that's what's guiding him. And it's beautiful. All right. Verse 3, for froward thoughts separate from the heavenly Father, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. So once you start bucking up against Yahweh Shemel Shai, he gonna show you. All right. And it starts out little by little until it gets to massive, like until until you until you finally, damn, whatever, until you finally, damn, whatever, until you until you finally submit to Yahweh Shemel Shai. There's no chance for you. All right. Let me get this real quick. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. All right. You are incapable of serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai without faith. All right. Let me get that real quick. That's Romans 8. Uh, Hebrews 11, Slakia, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Heavenly Father must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. All right? Hey, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect up there. Shalom to you all. Let go of yourself, man. This flesh is this flesh is not going to make it into that chariot. So stop trusting it in the first place. All right? Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.